Hi everyone, good morning. It's Saturday and I'm feeling quite a bit better. I've put this dress on this morning that I haven't had on for a while, and it's so loose. So clearly I've lost some pounds in the last week when I haven't been eating very much at all. So I can't really afford to lose weight, especially with surgeries coming up. So I'm going to have a couple of bowls of porridge and some mashed potatoes later, I think. Some stodge. Anyway, those of you who know me will know that I can't be called a royalist. Okay. I don't think anybody's better than anybody else. I'm Irish at heart. I'm Irish. My family, my ancestry is all Irish, apart from one grandmother who was from Spain. And, my heart belongs in Ireland with, physically, I'm in England. I was born here. But I'm not a monarchist. I've never have been. I've all the kowtowing to them and bowing down to them. And I don't know if anybody watched the interview that Prince Andrew had with that reporter, Emily Maitlis, where she was asking about, the victims of Epstein, and ostensibly Andrew and anybody else who was involved, Giselle Maxwell, and asking if he had any sympathy or empathy or words of comfort for the victims. And he sat there and he said, "No, I don't think so. Arrogant POS he is." Having said all that, and the reason I've said all that is because look what I've bought. It's a pity it wasn't Prince Harry the musical. Maybe they'll do that as well, like they've done Prince Andrew the musical. But I've got the book, the hardback book, and there he is as a kid. I haven't even looked at it. I got it. It was delivered on the day it was published, which I think was the 10th, and I just haven't, I haven't picked it up really. I haven't opened it, in fact. There you go. I've opened it now. Next to my bedroom was a sort of round sitting room, round table, wall mirror, writing desk, fireplace with cushioned hearth surround. In the far corner stood a great big wooden door that led to the bathroom. The two marble basins looked like the prototypes for the first basins ever manufactured. Everything at Balmoral was either old or made to look so. So it was either antique or made to look antique. Use the correct words. The castle was a playground, a hunting lodge, but also a stage, as is your life. This book was half price. I think it was, 28 quid, so it was reduced to 14 off Amazon. So I guess you can still get it if you want it, but I'll suggest that if you want to read it, you do what I've done. I bought it not to support this fool, but because I don't like to hear of things secondhand and make up my opinion or my opinions based on the opinions of others and the slants they put on what's written. I know this was done by a ghostwriter, but I also know that he had a large input into it, and he was paid $20 million, or was it £20 million? 20 million something. Should have been pebbles. 20 million pebbles for this book. And apart from anything else, it's a disgrace. You sign when you join the forces. I've got family who are in the forces, nieces who are in the forces now, and you make a declaration of allegiance to the monarch, as was then his grandmother, the Queen. He's broken that allegiance, but more importantly, to me, he, and to anybody of right-minded, he has put a target on the back of every soldier, every British soldier. We've got the one preacher in London, Mr. Chowdhury, who is calling for death to British soldiers because of what he said about killing 25 Afghanis and looking at them as though they were just chess pieces. No, they weren't. They're somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's husband. As in any war, it's the cannon fodder, the army and the navy and the air force, but mainly the army, the land forces, who are on the front line and in battle. The fact that this idiot wanted to go and play soldier alone put his regiment at risk, because of course if they'd have captured Prince Harry, I think there was a programme actually, I think there was a sort of not a documentary, but like a film about if he'd been captured and what would have happened. There'd have been no heroics from him. He'd been crying for his daddy or his granny and wanting a bowl of ice cream. But anyway, what I've done with this book, I bought this book, it cost me £14, not the 28. It's going to be passed on to 3 other people until it comes back to me, and then I'll probably pass it on to 3 other people, whoever wants to read it. So I've bought it, but there's going to be quite a few people who get a read out of it as far as they can bear going. It runs up to 401 pages, plus the acknowledgements. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. You need to relinquish that title, by the way. So does the Duchess. The Duke of Sussex is a husband, father, humanitarian, military veteran, mental wellness advocate, and environmentalist. He resides in Santa Barbara, California, with his family and 3 dogs. No mention of his father, his mother, his brother, no mention of that. Well, there's plenty of mention of them in the book, but I want to make up my own mind about this. He struggled at school, struggled with anger and loneliness. Well, he's not the sharpest tool in the box, is he? Then he met Meghan. The world was swept away by the couple's cinematic romance and rejoiced in their fairy tale wedding that the British public paid for, Joe Public and Jane Public paid for. So I'm going to read that when I can stomach it. It's not going to be one big read straight the way through because I can't do it to myself. So it'll probably take me a week to get through it. And I will write down a few points and I'll come back and give you a little book review of Harry and Meghan's fairy tale. And we'll see. It sounds as though I've already made up my mind, doesn't it? But in a way I have, because of the way he has deliberately made himself out to be the man, killing all these soldiers and being this tough guy and not even thinking about the treason that is perpetrated upon this country, upon the people, upon the army, upon the government, upon his grandmother, the then monarch, upon his father, the now monarch. So he's got no loyalty. We'll just see how it pans out, and we'll just see how long it is, and if the marriage works out. I mean, I hope it does. I do think that there probably was a little racism, maybe, from the family that wasn't intended to be racism. Maybe somebody said, I wonder, what complexion your child is going to have. Well, when I was pregnant with our baby, and we all used to say, wonder if he's going to have Alfie's blue eyes. It's just, the racism card is just played too much. And I saw a video the other day, a couple of days ago, and it was a beautiful, beautiful child, a black child, Afro-American, I guess. And this child had the darkest skin and the most startlingly beautiful blue eyes. And her mother is black. And her mother said that while she was pregnant with her daughter, she said, I wonder if she's going to have her dad's blue eyes, amazing eyes. And she herself was accused of inherent unconscious racism. It's nonsense. It really is. If racism is there, it's going to be blatant. It's going to be from the beginning. And as for myself, no, I've got a goddaughter whose mother's from Jamaica. So, to accuse me for putting a clip of a video up for one of my subscribers, not thinking, that's the most I was guilty of. But those dolls are for sale all over the place. The books are still out for sale on the internet. They're differing opinions, and our opinion was they were from our childhood, And somebody mentioned maybe I was brought up using the N-word. No, that wasn't in my vocabulary. It might be in yours. And it's certainly in the vocabulary of one or two other people who I've watched who are people of colour who have used that word, not one that I'd ever use. So before you accuse anybody, that mother, or Harry with his family, or me with that video clip, before you accuse anybody of racism, please know what you're talking about and look to yourself first. I'll be back later, everybody. Bye-bye.